French for Beginners, a step-by-step guide to learn the basics of the French language. Build your vocabulary, improve your reading and conversation skills. Written by Fabien Arnaud. Narrated by Vachon. Introduction. Donc, si vous me croyez mignonne, tandis que votre âge fleuronne, en sa plus verte nouveauté, cueillez, cueillez votre jeunesse. Comme à cette fleur la vieillesse fera ternir votre beauté. So, if you believe me, darling, while your age is blossoming in its most green freshness, gather, gather your youth, for old age will fade your beauty, as it has the rose. From Mignonne, allons voir si la rose, by Pierre de Ronsard. There's just something about French that is just utterly sexy. Even if you are discussing how bad the weather is, or just describing the peculiarities of a wooden spoon, saying it in French somehow transforms the mundane into the ethereal. Maybe it's the passage of air through the nose when pronouncing Champs-Elysées, or the sophisticated accent when ordering un croissant, s'il vous plaît. But saying things in French can be a rather magical experience. Listening to a French person spewing curses out loud might be mistaken by English speakers as simple declarations of passion given the flair in the words uttered. The lure of French is certainly undeniable, as somehow we are all exposed to the French culture in some way. What is your experience of French? You wouldn't be reading this book if you haven't encountered anything French in your life. Whether it was tasting your first brioche or ratatouille, watching Les Misérables the musical, or Un long dimanche de fiançailles, a very long engagement, listening to Edith Piaf, cheering for the French national football team, or owning an Eiffel Tower keychain. We cannot escape the French influence. Even the English you are using now is also rooted in French. Words such as apostrophe, bachelor, detour, elite, machine, and utensils are all borrowed from the French language. We all have our own first encounters with French, and it is good to recall those at this point. A love for French is not just about a love for French words, but a love for anything beautiful. So, why learn French? You may have your own personal reasons for learning this lovely but also complicated language. Here are some common reasons why people learn French. You may be going for an exchange student program in Lyon, and you want to impress your French classmates with your ability to adapt to their language. You may be wooing a pretty mademoiselle, and you thought reciting Rimbaud in the original French might just be the key to getting that oui. Your family is going on a week-long trip to Paris and to neighboring European cities. You don't want to get lost, so you want to brush up on the basics of asking questions in French. You are watching 10% and Osmosis, but you want to drop the subtitles and watch the movies in their original, unsubtitled versions. You are going for an apprenticeship in arpège to master the art of French cooking. You don't want to get lost or shortchange in a French market when you do your shopping rounds. You have a book report on Le Fantôme de l'Opéra, and you thought it would be interesting to read some parts in the original French because somehow English doesn't quite seem to capture the emotion of the characters. You've been assigned to work in the French part of Canada, and you want to understand some rudimentary business French to get you started with your clients. There will be a lot of other reasons for you to learn French. Add to these very personal lists is the objective fact that French is one of the official languages of the United Nations. This is a recognition that French is a global language spoken by more than 235 million fluent speakers all over the world. French is spoken not just in France, but in many European countries, in Canada, Sub-Saharan and North Africa, the Middle East, Asia and Oceania, and the Americas. French is also the second most taught language in school. It also holds esteem as the language of business, literature, and the sciences. Hence, when you learn French, an entire world opens up to you. Just learning how to greet people with a friendly bonjour gives you access to 235 million new friends. In spite of this allure of French, many people
Sample complete. Ready to continue?